this life stays the same.
That's right.
Nothing. Trends change, circumstances change. What was all the rage one day is not anymore. And in today's devotional at sozotoday.com, I share the story of how I had such fond memories of going to the Vernon Park Mall when I was a kid growing up in Kinston. My parents were on staff at a church there in the early 70s, and then later they moved to Snow Hill in Greene County, so that's not that far away. So that's still where we'd go to the mall. Right. And I have such fond memories there of what that was like. And there's a documentary on YouTube that I watched, and you've watched it as well, that talks about the history of the Vernon Park Mall in Kinston. Now, if you ride by there today, it is acreage and acreage that stands just as a relic and a reminder of what once was right there in that locale that isn't anymore. Right. And you think about all the folks that invested their money, their capital, their lives into opening a business up in that mall, from your big chains to your small mom and pop type businesses. And maybe they did well for a number of years, but over time that shifted and that changed. And the truth is this, Jared, life is guaranteed to be full of change. So if that's the truth, and we know it is, then we've got to find something that we can build on that's not going to change and that is going to be firm and that we can count on. And that leads us right into our key verse
today. Which is Colossians 2 and verse 7. Let your roots grow down into him and let your lives be built on him. Then your faith will grow strong in the truth you were taught and you will overflow with thankfulness.
And I think about the story of Elisha and Elijah, Jared. Elisha was no small-time farmer. He had multiple plows and teams of oxen in the field in that moment, which would be today like your big combines and your big, Massey Ferguson, John Deere, multi-tire tractors out in the field. I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but he had an enterprise. And then one day Elijah comes out in his field and he throws his mantle, his cloak, or his robe or coat over top of Elisha. And Elisha knew exactly what that meant. And he made a decision in that moment that he was not going to stick with what he thought the plan was. He was going to shift to God's plan for his life because he knew, without probably a lot of thought in the moment, it was an in-the-moment moment, he knew that he had to follow what God had for him because in that was going to be his success in his life. And I love what he did. We call it Burn the Ships. We played that song last hour. We got a different one now. But you know what he did, Jared? He burned the oxen. Now, he killed the oxen and roasted them and fed the community with the meat, and he burned the plows, and he didn't look back. And so we want to encourage you today, if you are in that place where you're thinking, man, what can I build on in these uncertain days and times? You can certainly build on him.
Absolutely. You can build your life on him, burn the oxen, the cattle, and no turning back, no looking back.
Your bridge to hope, encouragement, and inspiration. It's Sozo Today with the Bridge FM Morning Crew. Here's Johnny, Jared, and Joel.
That was his design. I'm giving my
Good morning, Washington, Greenville, New Bern, 8:39, 64 degrees. Hour 2, Jared, of Sozo Today with the Bridge FM Morning Crew. We've had one good devotional down. We've got another one on the way coming up next. We're going to get into that. Another point we're going to look at in today's devotion. And you can hop on with us at Sozo, SOZOtoday.com. But right now, Jared, it is another sponsor spotlight. And we've got Randy Farrow on the phone with us. Randy is, along with some other college buddies, and I'm going to make this sound really, really official. Randy, along with some other college buddies, are the founders. Did you ever think of yourself as a founder, Randy?
Never in a million years.
Yeah, you guys are the founders of the Southern Bay Company.
I thought you were going to say of Southern Bay fame.
Yeah, well, hey, Southern Bay Company, founder of Southern Bay Company, along with some close college buddies, local startup right here in the Washington, Greenville, Eastern Carolina area. And so, Randy, man, we're super excited. And we love highlighting our advertising partners because without our advertising partners, we would not be able to do this. And they've chosen to take marketing dollars and put them on mission. and certainly they want to get the word out about their products and services, and they got a lot of choices to do that with, Jared, right?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of things they could do, but they've chosen to partner with us so that they help us spread hope and encouragement, share hope and encouragement, and that's our mission.
Yeah.
And see, that's what partnership does. Partnership is when you have a mission and I have a mission, but we find that place of intersection where we can partner together and we both accomplish our mission together. Isn't that cool how that works? So we're great, and we're greatly honored to have Southern Bay Company on with us, Randy Farrow. And one of those college buddies that's part of the foundering, I just kind of made that up, is Joel. Joel's in our studio. Joel's our producer. Him and Randy best buds, and Joe happens to be my son. And so there's an extra little pumping going on too,
Yes,
Jared, right?
absolutely.
That you do when your kid's involved in something.
Absolutely. I know about that.
You know all about that,
Yes, I do.
exactly. So, Randy, tell us real briefly, quickly, about the Southern Bay Company and what it is all about, and your products and your services, what you're doing there.
All right, so the Southern Bay Company is a clothing and apparel brand that I started, me, Joel, and a couple of the buddies and stuff. And so right now we just launched our first T-shirt. Today's the last day to get it. $25 in free shipping. You can never beat free shipping.
That's right.
And so right now we dropped our first shirt. Like I said, today's the last day to get it. And then eventually we'll drop more shirts. The goal is to try to have a new shirt come out every single month. That's the goal. And then, when it gets wintertime, we'll make long sleeve shirts. We'll make hoodies. We'll make sweatshirts. And then, hopefully summer or two from now, we can make swimming trunks or just something, cozies would be cool. So, we're just thinking about a bunch of different ideas.
And this first shirt, Randy, is it's not like a cheap generic shirt. I mean, this is a high quality shirt that we would expect to find, at AB Surf Shop or at, from other online retailers or, think places like that.
Yeah. So, they're comfort colors. So for our original, the classic is what we call this shirt. So for the classic, it's white. But for future shirts, we're going to do it where you can have it any color you want to. But we wanted to keep it basic for the first one, and kind of spread the word and stuff. So 100% cotton, comfort color shirt, a nice white shirt with a pocket on the front. So you can't beat the price.
$25, free shipping.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
And so, Joe, in this inaugural shirt, you guys have kept it simple, and you're just focusing on your logo and your brand. So tell us, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, the first shirt, the main idea was just to do the main logo with kind of like a circle in the back, and then on the pocket you have a logo with a filled-in color. So we wanted to keep it like that. When you look at like shirts like Vineyard Vines and things like that, you just see their main well logo on the back, and so it's a really popular and common thing you see in like the Southern style comfort shirt like that.
Awesome. That sounds great. Now, Randy, I love this because in your radio commercials, you're talking about, just remembering the summer, how summer's fun, whether it's at the beach, on the river, and you guys are local guys on your website. You got local pictures of the Washington waterfront. That's important for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah. Being a local brand, we wanted to keep, when somebody goes to the website, we wanted to see, if you see something local, you see these guys are actually local, and people like supporting local businesses. So when people see that you're right in the area, that helps everything too. That helps boost sales. That helps people want to actually go get one because they say, hey, these guys are from our area, and we could be the ones that help this, get big and be the start of something special. So it's always good when you can do something like that.
Awesome. Well, folks, last day to get your comfort colors Southern Bay pocket tee. Just $25 with free shipping. You got to get it today. They're taking in all the orders. They're going to run those this week, and you'll get it ASAP. But make sure you do that. Support local, right?
That's right.
Southern Bay Company. southernbaycompany.com, southernbaycompany.com. Another Devo coming up next. Stay with us. So, Jared, to get in this second point, you gotta brush over the first one again. And our devotion today is titled "Build on Him," and it's from Colossians 2:7, and it says this: "Let your roots grow down into Him, and let your lives be built on Him. Then your faith will grow strong in the truth that you were taught, and you will overflow with thankfulness." And as we've been talking about this morning, nothing stays the same.
Right.
Trends change, things change. And I was talking about the malls and how fond memories of going to the mall in Kinston growing up as a kid, and now it just stands empty. And it's like they don't know what to do with it. You know, I mean, they have no idea what to do with it. Just to cost to tear it down would be a lot of money, right? So there it just sits, and it just without care and attention, it just decays, right? But at one point, it was thriving. It was bustling. It was a center of commerce in a town and in a city. And but the thing is we have to be mindful that things in this world, they have a shelf life. They have an expiration date. So if we're going to anchor to something, if we're going to build on something that's going to be solid and guaranteed to last, one thing that we can build on for certain is Christ. We can build on Him. Yeah. But I love the point you made pre-show, because it's the second part of this verse. There's a caveat. There's a promise that comes with building on Him.
Right. And just like the Vernon Park Mall is empty and desolate now, a lot of times we find ourselves in this same position where we feel empty. We feel like, there's really nothing going on the inside of us. And when Christ comes and when we begin to build our life on Him, then we find that, like it says at the end of Colossians 2:7, that we will overflow with thankfulness. And Johnny, for me, being thankful is taking time to reflect on who God is and what He has done in my life. And there's a discipleship group that I'm in, and it's me and it's 3 other guys, and we meet one night a week. We do a Zoom call. And we had our Zoom call last night, and we were talking about the privilege of prayer and how as a child of God, we have the privilege to come before the throne of God at any point in time. And as we build that relationship up, our roots grow down, and that just makes you so thankful that the God that has all power, it wants to hang out and wants to communicate with you. And it changes that empty, desolate life into something that is overflowing with thankfulness, and just replaces that with joy and thanksgiving. And I love that.
Absolutely, it does, man. Anchor to, build on. I'm using this word anchor. I don't know why. But build on Him. Yeah. You can count on Him. You can trust Him. He's going to be there with you. Never going to let you down. And He's never going to change, right?
That's right.
Hey, and we hope to be with you tomorrow. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
It might rise.
We'll see you tomorrow.